Hi, welcome to Moby-Dick Part II. This excerpt starts on page 361 of your lit book. And again, Moby-Dick is a really, really big book, and the lit book just has some of the highlights of it. So part one we already read. We're jumping way ahead in the book. This is not right after what we last covered. They've found Moby-Dick, and they've battled him for a couple days. And so that's where we're picking up right now, as the little excerpt at the top of 361 will inform you. After Moby-Dick has been sighted in the Pacific Ocean, the Pequod's boats pursue the whale for 2 days. One of the boats has been sunk, so one of the lesser boats, and Ahab's ivory leg has been broken off. However, as the next day dawns, the chase continues. So there's one main ship, the Pequod, and there's a bunch of boats that I guess look more or less like lifeboats that hang off the side, and they drop into the water so they can get closer to the whale to fight it. So one of those boats has been sunk. Those come into play in this excerpt. So the chase, the third day. The morning of the third day dawned fair and fresh, and once more the solitary nightman at the foremast head was relieved by crowds of the daylight lookouts, who dotted every mast and almost every spar. "Do you see him?" cried Ahab, but the whale was not yet in sight. "In his infallible wake, though, but follow that wake, that's all. Helm there, study as thou goest, and hast been going. What a lovely day again! Were it a new-made world, and made for a summer house to the angels, and this morning the first of its throwing to open to them, a fairer day could not dawn upon that world. Here's food for thought, had Ahab time to think. But Ahab never thinks, he only feels. That's tingling enough for mortal man. To think's audacity. God only has that right and privilege. Thinking is, or ought to be, a coolness and a calmness, and our poor hearts throb, and our poor brains beat too much for that." And he's going to keep going there. I'm going to skip a bit. Basically what he's saying, what you need to know is he's comparing himself to nature and animals, saying that he is a guy who relies on his instinct and his feelings and his emotions. He doesn't stop and calculate. He's not terribly rational. So he thinks he's sort of part of nature in that way, the same way nature goes on their instincts. They don't have higher level thinking. He's like, I don't have higher level thinking either. I totally get nature in that way. We're the same. We react on instinct and feeling, and we just do what comes naturally to us. So turn the page to 362 and skip to the very bottom of that first paragraph. I'm skipping the rest of his rant down to "Aloft there, what do you see?" So the end of that first paragraph on 362. "Aloft there, what do you see?" "Nothing, sir, nothing, and noon at hand. The doubloon goes a-begging." The doubloon is that gold piece he nailed to the mast. So no one's gotten it yet because they haven't captured Moby-Dick. "See the sun? Aye, it must be so. I've oversailed him. How, got the start? Aye, he's chasing me now, not I him. That's bad. I might have known it too. Fool, the lines, the harpoons he's towing." So the fact that they've been battling him, throwing harpoons and like rope that have ropes attached to them and barrels and stuff to try to get him to the surface. The fact they've been doing this the last couple days, he should have realized, oh, the whale's going to be slowed down. In the night, I was going full bore chasing him. We've oversailed him in the night. We've gone past him, and now he's coming behind. He's behind us, not in front of us. So he's like, stupid. I should have realized that. Aye, I have run by him last night. About, means turn the ship around. Come down, all of ye, but the regular lookouts. Man the braces. Steering as she had done, the wind had been somewhat on the Pequod's quarter, so that now being pointed in the reverse direction, the brace ship sailed hard upon the breeze as she returned to cream in her own white wake. "Against the wind, he now steers for the open jaw," murmured Starbuck to himself as he coiled the new hauled main brace upon the rail. "God keep us, but already my bones feel damp within me, and from the inside wet my flesh. I misdoubt me that I disobey my God in obeying him," meaning Ahab. Remember, Starbuck's the one who was not on board with this the whole time. He thinks this is a bad idea. And he's like, this is really not going well for us. "Stand by to sway me up," cried Ahab, advancing to the hempen basket. "We should meet him soon." So he wants to go up and take a look for the whale. He's got a little basket they put him in because he has no leg. He's missing the leg at this point. Even the ivory leg that he had has been snapped off. "Aye, aye, sir." And straight away, Starbuck did Ahab's bidding. So he's still doing what he's been told to do. And once more, Ahab swung on high. So now he goes up and he takes a look. I'm going to skip again and just fill in the blanks here. And he takes a look. And while he's up there, he has this talk with himself about this guy, the Parsee, P-A-R-S-E-E, who used to be on the ship. And he's a bit of a fortune teller. He said, you're going to see me again right before you die. Like, I'm going to die on this trip, and you're going to see me one more time, and then you're going to see your coffin, your hearse is going to take you to your grave. And so he's wondering, like, okay, Parsi, he did die. Again, apparently he was one of the people who's been killed in this battle of the whale. But he's like, where are you again? And where's my hearse? What's supposed to take me to my grave? So that's what he's talking about when he's up there. So skip to the next part of 363, right in the middle of 363. After that big, long paragraph, he's going to come back down. He gave the word, and still gazing round him was steadily lowered through the cloven blue air to the deck. In due time, the boats were lowered, but as standing in his shallop's stern, Ahab just hovered upon the point of the descent. He waved to the mate, who held one of the tackle ropes on deck, and bade him pause. Starbuck! Sir, for the third time my soul's ship starts upon this voyage, Starbuck. So it's the third day we're going to try to get the whale. Aye, sir, thou wilt have it so. Some ships sail from their ports, and are ever afterwards missing, Starbuck. Truth, sir, saddest truth. Some men die at ebb tide, some at low water, some at the full of the flood, and I feel now like a billow, like a wave. That's all one crested comb. Starbuck, I am old. Shake hands with me, man. Their hands met, their eyes fastened. Starbuck's tears were the glue. Oh, captain, my captain, noble heart, go not, go not. See, it's a brave man that weeps. How great the agony of the persuasion then. Like, I'm a brave guy and I'm crying. Please, you don't have to go keep fighting the whale. Let's just turn around. We don't need to go after him anymore. Lower away, cried Ahab, tossing the mate's arm from him. Stand by the crew. So Ahab's having none of it. In an instant, the boat was pulling round close under the stern. The sharks, cried a voice from the low cabin window there. Oh, master, my master, come back. But Ahab heard nothing, for his own voice was high lifted then, and the boat leaped on. Yet the voice spake true, for scarce had he pushed from the ship, when numbers of sharks, seemingly rising from out of the dark waters beneath the hull, maliciously snapped at the blades of the oars every time they dipped in the water, and in this way accompanied the boat with their bites. It is a thing not uncommonly happening to the whaleboats in those swarming seas, the sharks at times apparently following them in the same prescient means like they know what's going to happen ahead of time, same prescient way that vultures hover over the banners of marching regiments in the east. In other words, the sharks know there's going to be blood and something in the water, so they're following these boats, knowing that's going to happen. But these were the first sharks that had been observed by the Pequod since the white whale had first been descried. And whether it was that Ahab's crew were all such tiger yellow barbarians and therefore their flesh more musky to the senses of the sharks, a matter sometimes well known to affect them, however it was, they seemed to follow that one boat, the one that Ahab is in, without molesting, without bothering the others. And you can see on that picture on 364, that's one of the little whaling boats that hangs on the side of the ship, which is the Pequod, that they go out and fight the whale. Obviously, in that picture, they're not doing so well against the whale. I'm going to skip again to 365, the next page. We're finally going to see the whale. Let's just get to it. Let's find Moby-Dick. This is a beautiful paragraph describing what it looks like when a whale comes up from the surface, then splashes back down. So it's the third paragraph down where it starts, suddenly the waters on 365. Suddenly, the waters around them slowly swelled in broad circles, then quickly upheaved as if sideways sliding from a submerged berg of ice, swiftly rising to the surface. A low rumbling sound was heard, a subterraneous hum, and then all held their breaths as, bedraggled with trailing ropes and harpoons and lances, a vast form shot lengthwise but obliquely from the sea. Shrouded in a thin, drooping veil of mist, it hovered for a moment in the rainbowed air and then fell swamping back into the deep. Crushed 30 feet upwards, the waters flashed for an instant like heaps of fountains, then brokenly sank in a shower of flakes, leaving the circling surface creamed like new milk round the marble trunk of the whale. So what was described as the whale going out and going sideways, hanging in the air, and then shooting up all the water like a big fountain. So that's what Moby-Dick just did. He surfaced and splashed. Give way, cried Ahab to the oarsmen, and the boat started forward to the attack. But maddened by yesterday's fresh irons that corroded in him, he still has like iron poles stuck in him, Moby-Dick seemed combinedly possessed by all the angels that fell from heaven, which means he was possessed by demons. Those are angels that fell from heaven. The wide tiers of welded tendons overspreading his broad white forehead beneath the transparent skin looked knitted together as head-on he came, churning his tail among the boats, and once more flailed them apart, spilling out the irons and lances from the two mates' boats, and dashing in one side of the upper part of their bows, but leaving Ahab's almost without a scar. So again, look at the picture on 364. That's what Moby-Dick, the damage he's causing with his tail. While Daggoo and Queequeg were stopping the strained planks, and as the whale swimming out from them turned and showed one entire flank as he shot by them again, at that moment a quick cry went up. Lashed round and round to the fish's back, pinioned in the turns upon turns in which during the past night the whale had reeled the involutions of the lines around him, the half-torn body of the Parsee, remember I told you about him, was seen, his sable raiment frayed to shreds, his distended eyes turned full upon old Ahab. So the Parsee had been taken out of the ship earlier in the part we didn't read, the book skipped over. And Ahab wondered when he was going to see him again. Well, here he is. He's tied to the whale. He's drowned, and his eyes are looking out because he's tied to the whale and he's dead. So he's looking at them. The harpoon dropped from Ahab's hand. Be fooled! Be fooled! Drawing in a long, deep breath, a long, lean breath. Aye, Parsee, I see thee again. Aye, and thou goest before, and this then is the hearse that this thou promised. So the hearse is Moby-Dick taking him to his watery grave. But I hold thee to the last letter of thy word. Where is the second hearse? Away, mates, to the ship. Those boats are useless now. Repair them if ye can in time and return to me. If not, Ahab is enough to die. Down, men. The first thing that but offers to jump from this boat I stand in, that thing I harpoon. Ye are not other men but my arms and my legs, so obey me. Where's the whale? Gone down again? Top of page 366. But he was looking too nigh, too near the boat, for as if bent upon escaping with the corpse that he bore, the Parsee that's tied around him, and as if the particular place of the last encounter had been but a stage in his leeward voyage, Moby-Dick was now again steadily swimming forward, and had almost passed the ship, which thus far had been sailing in the contrary direction to him, though for the present her headway had been stopped. He seemed swimming with his utmost velocity, so he's swimming as fast as he can, and now only intent upon pursuing his own straight path in the sea. So even though they've been fighting this whale for a while and the whale's been fighting with them, the whale just wants to get away. The whale is swimming as fast as it can away from them, which contradicts Ahab's theory that the whale and he have some sort of beef and they're going after each other and it's a personal thing between them. Okay, so Starbuck is going to point this out. "Oh, Ahab," cried Starbuck, "not too late it is, even now, the third day, to desist," which means to stop. "See, Moby-Dick seeks thee not. It is thou that madly seekest him." So again, Starbuck, the voice of reason. This is all in your head, bro. Like the whale doesn't care about you. It only bit your leg off because you were trying to kill it. You guys do not have beef. This is not a grudge match. Let him go. He's too much for us. Let's stop. This obsession is going to kill us. And that's where we'll end part 2 for the day.